Hello guys, welcome to this video. On our previous video, we started HTML classes. So we did this basic introduction to HTML and some elements. In today's video, we want to continue from where we stopped. If you have not watched the previous video, I'll drop the link on the description box below. Also, remember to subscribe to my channel so you'll be notified when a new video is uploaded on the channel. Okay, and if you have not watched about my JavaScript videos, I'll drop the link on the description box below. Okay, let's dive in. Okay, on our last video, we talked about HTML elements, how you can use HTML to display your text. And we said that HTML is a structured language for all websites that runs on the web. Okay, now in today's video, we want to look at many other HTML elements and probably come up with a site as well. Okay, let's go on. Let me load this on the browser as well. I'm using Live Share. If you don't have the extension, you can come down here where we have extension and type in Live Share or Live Server rather. Sorry, Live Server, Live Server like so. Okay, you can see I'm using this live server. It helps to automatically reload your page and so on and so forth, right? So you can just click on install. You see install on the side like this. So you just click and install it. Okay, good. So I will be making use of the live server now. Okay, I'll just find a way to open my. This is my channel. You can get to learn more about my channel. Okay, I just want to minimize this so we can have the the browser one side and the code one side. Okay, think. Okay, I think this is good. Let me just collab this. If you've not watched the beginning of these tutorials, I'll leave the link on the description box below. Okay, I think we are good to go. Okay, let me just launch this on the live using live server. I want to launch this page on this browser up here. Okay, so while it's still loading, still is processing, I guess so. Okay, so today we want to talk about this. You can see this is what we have from here, from this page. This is what we have on this browser up here. Okay, so let's do more stuff. We talked about paragraph tag. We've talked about underline that enables you to underline text, and we talked about heading. Important. Next thing I want to talk about here is ordered list and unordered list and comments in HTML. So to write comments in HTML, I will use less than, angular bracket, less than, exclamation mark, and double hyphen sign. It will complete it for you. So we can say this is a comment like so. Okay, comment in programming is being ignored by the compiler. You can see that you don't see this thing on this web page. It's just used by the programmers to describe their code. The compiler will ignore it. So comment is very good when you're writing a bulky applications. You can use it to describe your applications. Okay, so this is we'll be making use of this comments as we continue. Okay, so the next thing we want to look at now, we want to look at ordered and unordered lists in HTML. Ordered list, the element is UL like so. Remember, it's always angular bracket open UL and the closing tag of it. But if you just type UL, if you're using VS Code, you'll be able to get the syntax by clicking on it. just going to comment. UL stand for unordered list. So as name implies list, it has to come with a list of item inside. So we still need to have li, which stand for list, angular bracket open and close. Without the li, you're not going to get the list you're looking for. So we can just say fruit like mango, like so. See what this does? It just give it an iving up. So I can copy this and paste as many times as I want the list to be. Okay, we see we have the mango listed here in an ordered list. So we can change it to apple and to orange. Okay, like so. This is a list of fruit. This is what we used to list element. Next thing we're going to look at is unordered list. Let's just use um, comment to do that. Write the comment. Okay, ordered list. Ordered list we want to look at now. This is unordered list. So on the ordered list, you just use OL. O stand for ordered, then L list. Okay, we still have the same way. You need to have list of items inside. So open close li, open ai li and close it with this angular bracket. Okay, note the differences. I spent time in the previous video to explain this. You can see that just by doing this, you can see numbers. That means the difference is being that this will be numbered accurately. So we can say book, okay, can have again li, can have pen, like so. So the difference is this one will be numbered while on other list will not come with number. Then we can have pencil, like so. Okay, this is the difference between unordered list and ordered list. Ordered list comes with a number. Okay, next thing we're going to look at in this video is how to put link that anchor tag. You see some website they say click this link to read more or thereabout. So to insert link to your web page, you use the a. A is known as anchor tag. You can call it anchor tag or link tag. So if you just type a like so, if you are using VS Code, which is very nice, if you just type a, you're going to see all this, right? You can just click on it, then it's going to bring out this. Okay, now we can just say click here to read more, click here to read more. Okay, right? You can see here it appears as a link, a clickable link that you can click, right? So you can now, in this link, we have where we call href. Href stands for hypertext reference, which refers to where the URL you're referring to. So if you check here, it contains a URL or URL fragment that the hyperlink points to. Okay, so we should supply the URL where you want to go. For instance, say we want to go to Kuku, you can just say https colon forward slash colon forward slash www.kuku.com. So this link, you can see that the color change. If we click on this link now, it's going to take us to Kuku straight away. That means we are linking to Kuku website if you want to read more. This is how to specify this. Let me expand this so we can see very well. Okay. So another thing that can be added here, this is what we call attribute. This href is called attribute. Then this link on a quote is called the value. So href anchor tags normally take attribute of href that takes the value of the URL. That's how to interpret it. We can still have another attribute like target. The target you can specify to be blank. It can open blank. That means if you click on this link, now it's going to open a new tab for you instead of loading from your website. This is what the target does. So it can also take other things again here. As we continue, you see how it goes. Okay, that's awesome. Next thing I want to talk about here, let's look at how to insert image to a web page. Okay, at the end of this video, we're going to build a very awesome web page, and we'll see how to use HTML, combine all those things we learn in fragment together and build a web page. Okay, so we're going to insert image, we use the keyword him like this, right? The him attribute is self-closing, right? It has a source, which is SRC, stand for source. That's the URL where you are getting the image from. And it has another attribute called auth. This is alternative attribute, right? This alternative, if the image is not displaying, there should be an alternative text that describe what the image that's supposed to display is. So let's just check some image like so. Let me get some image and insert it here. So I just cut an image. You can get any image. This is the image. Just make sure that you put it in the folder you're working on. This is the folder we are working on. If you open this folder, you're going to see the image inside. So just get the image there. You can view the image right here in VS Code. This is the image we want to add to this website. We want to add it up here. So take it to the folder you're working on. Then you specify the image. The path to the image is dot forward slash, which is where the image is. Just click on it. The PNG is going to show. Alternate text, we can just say medical. Medicals. So if we go to our web page, we're going to get the image right away, but you're not going to see the text. Let me show you how to when you will see the text display. Let's say we made a mistake on the extension of this image. Instead of JPG, we'll leave it at JP. The image will not display. Then the text will display. This is when you see the text, right? Okay. This is how to include image. In this image can take many other attributes like width, which will specify the width of the image. If I put 200 code there, the image will shrink. If I put 300, it can increase the size of the image, can take height as an attribute, 500, like so. So we'll have something like this, and many other attributes which you will learn as we continue. Remember that the him attribute is self-closing. It does not have closing tag, right? Okay. So next thing I want to talk about in this HTML is the important concept which you cannot escape as long as programming or web development is concerned. One of the stuff we want to discuss now is how to use form in HTML. So HTML form are used to get informations from the user. It's a formal way of interacting between the front end and the back end in terms of registration, login, and so many other stuff. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to build form, which you cannot escape in any website you are building. Every website always have a form. Okay, unless it's a static website. So to start with form, we're going to use the keyword form, right? Okay. This form keyword, when you use this, you need to specify. If you leave it like that, you're not going to see anything on the form, right? I'm just going to put a break on this. This is another HTML break. to take my form to another line. And see here, I'm going to put break so that I'm going to have some break in between the image and this. So if you check, it's going to break it for me like so. Okay, so at this juncture, we have form here. Inside form, we have what we call input. Input is actually the field that allow people to type on it. So if we go back to uh, this thing, you can see one input here, right? You can see input in which you can type something down here, right? Okay, I think I should zoom it in small. Okay, down here. So let me drop break at the extreme end of this, maybe like 2 times. So you're going to see it very well. Yeah. Okay, so I can just use head one and say from from like so. Okay, I have this set up form. So we're going to set this form now. So I can copy this input field as many times as possible and paste in here. Let's just work with three. So we're currently having three input form, like so in straight line, which you can type something in each of them, right? But I don't want it to be in a straight line like this. I'll just put break in each of them. Just going to put break in each of them, maybe two times. So I'll have a gap, break, like so. Okay, this break will always take the next item to the new line. Okay, so I have something like this. I think this is better, right? Okay, so we're going to have a submit button. So I'm going to call button like so and call it submit. Submit. Okay, so we have submit button. There are another way you can do this submit button. You can still use this input type to do submit button by giving it type of submit, right? Like so, submit. It's still going to be an input, like so. So anyone you can use it, but I'm going to use button for now. Okay, so we have this input form. This is how to do form in HTML. This form can take many other attributes apart from type. The type in this form specify the type of text that will be typed in here. If you specify text, it's going to take everything, numbers, letter, special characters, everything in the keyboard will be able to type, right? But if we specify this to be number, like so, the type can only be number. You can already see the increment. So you cannot type any other thing except number, right? You can only type number, you cannot type letters. Okay, so there are so many form type field that we can use. We can use password type field, we can use so many things. So as we continue, we're going to see that. Okay, form can as well have what we call label, which signifies what the form is for. So let's say username, okay, let's say full name here, full name shows that this particular form is for full name. So in that case, we're going to leave here to be text, right? Because full name, you will likely want person to type letters, right? Okay, the next label we're going to have up here, we're going to say full name, let's just say um, full name, email, right? Email address, okay? So since it's for email, this place is going to be for email, the type. So it will allow person to type only but for email address. Okay. Okay. So next one, let's just use email. Let's say phone number, label for phone number, label for phone number. Okay, we have this. This for does not mean anything. You can remove it or you can leave it to be there. Any one that is good for you. So this is for phone number, right? Oh, we made a mistake here. So it's supposed to be address, not that. Okay, phone number. Since it's phone number, we should make sure that it's typing only number. So the type is going to be number, right? Okay. Okay, so this is how to do form straight away in HTML. Another thing let's say gender, so that I can show you how to use select. Like gender will not be, you don't need to type gender like male, like so. You only need to select. So to use that, we can use what we call select. Select in HTML, right? Which takes this attribute. Inside it, we have what we call options, right? This option that takes value and takes this. So we can say male and we can still copy this and say female as well. Okay, female like so. So you see that we have select, which you can select it. Let's drop a break at the end so it can take us to another line, right? Okay, so you can select here male or female, right? Let's just put label on top and say select gender. Okay, so we have the select gender, male or female, right up here. So this is how to set up form and everything. You can as well have radio button like we have input. Okay, let's get label first. Label will be, are you married? Are you married? Like so. So we're going to have input that text radio button. So the type will be checkbox, checkbox. Okay, like so. So you can see we have this. Are you married? So you can have a checkbox that will enable person to check. Person, are you married? Okay, we can have yes there. Are you married? Then we have another label. You can as well have another label that said yes or no. Are you married? Like so. Okay. Are you married? So we're going to put yes here. Yes. Okay. So this is yes. If one tick means no. So this is how you can what you can create inside form, checkbox or radio. We have another one that is called radio checkbox. This one is circle. While checkbox is square. Okay, this is how to do form. There are many other stuff. Let's say you don't want to use placeholder like this. Inside this input field, you can still have many other attributes like name. Name is used to get the value of this particular input field to the backend. So you will understand that as we continue in this course and you will get to know more about this. So the name can be the name of this. You can call it full underscore name like so. For now, it's not necessary. I'm just trying to show you some other attributes. You can have placeholder. Placeholder is small fainted text inside here. Maybe enter your name by your name, like so. So if you go to the input box, you see it inside here, enter your name, something like this, enter your name. So you can still use it if you want to use it in most cases, right? Okay, you can supply the initial value to a text box. For instance, let's say here, this email, I can just still add what we call value. Value, I can just say goodie like so. So it will be the normal value that you supply initially. In some cases, you might want to do this depending on what you want to achieve, right? Okay. So I'll just remove that so that if you put that, that means the person will not be able to type any other thing there. And you can also make an input field to be read only. Read only will not allow person to type anything, right? And you can make it required. We have what we call required. Required allow will not allow person to submit this until it fills out this. So if you remove the require, you can automatically submit that. If I remove this, I can submit this without any prevention. But when once I add required to it, I'll not be able to submit it until I fill this. Right? Okay. So these are many things that are in the form, right? Okay, and as well, you can specify the maximum input person can type in here. You can have minimum length of what the person can type and maximum length of what the person can type, right? Let's say if I specify two, if I specify two, that means this person cannot type character that is above two, right? Two, right? If I refresh this, it's okay. I think that's maximum, right? Max length, sorry, it with length 2. Okay, I cannot type anything more than 2 characters. If I put 5, it has to be only 5 characters that I can type, right? After 5, I'll not be able to type again. So there are many stuff you can add to this, right? Depending on what you want to achieve. Okay, this is cool, and this is how forms work. Normal forms take many other attributes. This is action. Action attribute is just the backend that this form is being submitted to. You just pass in the URL here, right? Okay, as we continue in real time, because still in this video or later video, we're going to do form validations where we're going to do the real validations using JavaScript and validate the form. So we can still have auto complete. These are many things that can be added to this form. Auto complete. We can have method. Method can also be added to this form. Method. Method is the type of a method the work is going to, whether it's post or get. As we continue, we're going to get this in detail. So there are so many other stuff. So this is how to build form in HTML. Okay, next thing we're going to look at is how to deal with HTML tables. These are the basic concepts in HTML that you cannot underestimate them as long as you're talking about web development. Okay, let's look at table in HTML. As the name implies, down here we're going to have table right away. Inside table, table is always seen in rows and columns. So we're going to have rows and we're going to have columns of a table. So we can have table description or table heading. Inside this table heading, we can just use, let's just say timetable or full timetable, timetable like so. Okay, if we go to here, you see you have heading, right? Just straight way up here. Okay, let me drop two breaks at the bottom so you can get this very well. Now, we're looking at um, tables. So the first thing you do, you have table rows, right? Inside the table rows, we can have table descriptions, right? Or table heading. table rows and table heading. So if I have this, let me just say time, right way, and we have this. Let's check. You see, we have this thick enough to see what is there. So let's just say time slash this, like so. So we're just writing this and test time slash this. So we can have Monday, have Tuesday, this, Tuesday, then we'll have Wednesday. I'll just stop here. Um, Okay. Okay, we're just going to stop here, but notice that we didn't have the table format. Why? That's because we need to put what we call border in this table. Let's say one, right? Okay, now we have the table structure up here. You can see that this table is in form of rows and columns. Then we have the very first rows and we have how many columns? One, two, three, four. Okay, so let's see how to add elements under each of these elements. So to add element under each of these heading, we still have to have another table rows that will correspond to each of these. Then we can now have TD. TD stand for table description or table data, whichever way. So this first one corresponds to this particular one. The next one will correspond to each of them. So time, we can say 8 a.m. like so, or 7 rather, 7 a.m. So on Monday, so you see this is what really happened, right? Okay, so let's add something here. On Monday, what are they going to take? Let's say tea and bread. I'll just copy this. Edit it. Tea and bread. Okay, so we have this tea and bread on Monday. Then on Tuesday, the same time, we're going to have tea and bread. We're going to have uh, bread and egg and tea, rather, right? Something like that. Okay, so last one we can have, remember we are using TB. Okay, we can now take, what can we take? Fried plantain, fried plantain. Okay, so we have that. So this is how to deal with table using HTML. This is how we can deal with table using HTML. Okay, this is for table and form and so on. These are the important thing in JavaScript or in HTML rather. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is what we call Diff and some other concepts. They are what we call containers in HTML, which are capable to hold other elements. Like they are just container, no other thing. So many of them are block level elements, while some are inline level elements. So we're going to talk about block level elements and inline level elements. So block level elements will always span the full width of the screen. For example, if we use H1, which we'll keep on using before say a block level element. This concept is very important. You might just say it, but you don't know. Let me drop break at the very end so we can see it clear. Okay, you might just say this, but you don't know how it is blocked. So I'm just going to put style. inside here, inline style. So if I use style and say background color, I want to put background color of red, right? So that you see how the different. You see that it spanned from this beginning till the end, right? Okay, it just span everywhere. So this is what we call block level elements. Block level elements, we always take the full width of the screen, right? While inline level elements will always take span to where the text stop. For example, if we use span like so and say inline level element, right? So let me apply this style as well. I'll just grab the all of this, put it here, and change this color to green. Okay. You just see the difference. The inline level element just takes only where the text stop, while the block level elements span everywhere. So this concept is very paramount. In this case, you can put inline level elements inside block level elements, but it's somehow hard to put block level elements the other way around. Okay, so this is the concept. So there are some block level element like H1, anchor tag, still a block level element because if you put this tag here, let's check it out. If we put it and see if it's going to span all over the way or it didn't span. So it's an inline level element, right? Okay, so we have block level element like div. Div is a container that can contain, you can wrap all these things inside. This div is just like a container, and div is seen as a block level element that can span, take the full width of the screen, like so. So, see, right? So it's being seen as a container. Div is a container. There's other things like section, like so. You can as well try it out. You can also use it to wrap anything you want to do. Okay, so I can have P inside here. Let me close it up here. Okay, can have paragraph. Let's say hello. Okay, you can see. So all the stuff are here. In our next video, I'm going to show you, we're going to build a web page that will look good, and we're going to make use of all these styles I show you, and this is what we call inline style. And it's in that video I'm going to introduce CSS to you. So we're going to build a web page with HTML and CSS. See you in the next video.